we can actually start with some open chain stuff. That's a little easier, and so I can just go here and I'm just gonna pulse. I'm just gonna go up and down. This isn't gonna feel cranky at all. I'm not putting any stress on the knee, but what I'm doing is I am getting some synovial fluid release. I am getting some blood flowing into the quads. And so this can really grease the knees. I could go 30 seconds each leg. You could go all the way up to a minute, or just go until that quad is burning a little bit and then hop up. And what you'll find is now once you get into your squatting, you actually got some synovial fluid, and that's what allows things to slide and glide a little bit easier. Now, if you're like a 2 out of 10 crankiness and that squat actually doesn't bother you, you might not need to waste your time with that. You could hop straight into a slant board. Option 1, if you don't have a band, slant board or heels elevated on some plates, and then just come down to that bottom position and come back up. I would crank out about 15 to 20 repetitions there. But if you have a band, we can actually challenge terminal knee extension a little bit more. So that's that top range. I can either go heels elevated here, or I can just go on the balls of my feet and just squat here. You're gonna get a huge pump in your quads, get a lot of blood flowing. And then from there, I would start to load it. And so I would go heels elevated, getting through some range, slow and controlled. I can even kind of seek out those sticky points. So let's say I'm going down and boom, at 90 degrees, that's where I feel it. I can kind of pulse up and down through that range. So if I'm doing the regular goblet squat, I'd probably go 15 to 20 repetitions, looking for like an 8 out of 10 burn in those quads. Or if I'm going those pulses, I would just spend time there until I get my 8 out of 10 burn in the quads. Now at some point, I gotta start to add some speed, because now I'm good on blood flow. I'm good on synovial fluid. Now I gotta drop through range nice and quick, so I can just do some quick squat jumps, but I'm not actually jumping high. I'm just getting a couple inches off the ground, add a couple bounces in between, and that could look like this, right? It could look like that, and then gradually, okay, I'm at 90. Okay, now I'm in a deep squat position. If you do have that range, you don't need to keep your heels down. You can be on the balls of the feet on this exercise. And now, once I start getting through some range, everything's gonna start to loosen up. And then from there, I should be good to start to warm up the specific task. So if I was doing like a max jumping day, I would do like one step into it, jump, 25%, step in, jump, 50%, step in, jump, 75%. As long as I'm feeling good, I just keep ramping it up over 4 or 5 jumps until I get to 100%. And then once I reach that, I'm good to go. So if that was a max jump session, I would just get into my specific jumps. If I was warming up for like a basketball game or a skills training session, I might go in my PJF extended length band and get in and out of some cuts, right? Work on that rapid deceleration. I could do some laterals, boom. So start to produce a little bit of force, add a little bit of speed. This is getting more and more game specific. Go, boom, back pedals, boom, back pedals, right? So you just start to get into your basketball specific actions, and then you add a ball and we're good to go. Keep in mind, one of the best things you could do for cranky knees is to have a full sweat before your workout starts. So if you can come in and get on a stationary bike for 5 minutes and get a sweat going, a lot of times everything loosens up once you start sweating. So I'd get my light sweat. Then, if my knees are still very, very cranky, I would go to the open chain pumps, okay? From there, I would go to my heel elevated with the band, doing full range, and then challenging that top half, that terminal knee extension. If you can't get that full range, then just challenge the terminal knee extension and loosen it up that way, loosen it up from the top down. Then we would go to our regular goblet squat. If I still have those sticky points, right, for a lot of us around 90 degrees, I would get there and I would just pulse. Not pushing into too much pain, but just a little bit. From there, I would start to add a little bit of speed into the equation with some squat jumps without actually jumping too high. And then from there, as long as I'm feeling good, I get into my specific reps that I'm gonna be doing for my workout. And you just start at 25%, ramp it up 50, 75, 100. You're good to go. You're good to crush that session.